Greetings, Nimrods. So today we're going to compare a couple hammer drills. The Bosch cordless hammer drill here, which is a GBH18V-20. Got a full charge there. And we'll be comparing that with the Bosch Bulldog Xtreme corded hammer drill. So we're going to start out with the cordless here, and of course we got to put it in the correct setting on hammer drill, not just hammer. And so this concrete is very hard concrete. It's 30 years old, 40 years old maybe. It's been doing a lot of demoing of it, and it's very hard. And I'm holding this with one hand, and this is, well, I'm speeding it up now. I put it in super high speed, the camera that is. Holding this with one hand, this has a clutch such that if the bit binds up, it doesn't break your wrist, which is a nice feature. We're going to see how many holes we can drill with this before the battery dies, and I can tell you it's not a lot. I was a little bit disappointed with this drill in that it's great for some light duty stuff or doing little tap cons with a smaller bit, but this half-inch bit, which I wouldn't even consider a big bit for a hammer drill, wipes it out pretty quickly. So we're going to see here that we don't get too terribly many holes in this. And I also find that in hotter weather, the duty cycle is such that you probably can't, the next battery will do even less holes than this battery will, so you got to let it cool down. So we're slowing it down here, we're slowing the camera down, and look at there we go. That's it. So 4 holes is basically 8 inches deep, half-inch diameter bit. Now we're going to try the Bulldog Xtreme and see how many holes we can drill with this before the battery dies. Just kidding. We'll just get a sense of how fast this is. And they behave quite differently. The cordless one actually, I believe, turns a bit faster. It feels like it is. I'm not sure it's any faster though. This definitely has a little more torque and probably can handle a larger bit than the cordless. Obviously, it doesn't run on a battery charge, which is a big plus. They cost about the same. I think they're better off with a corded one at this point. There are a lot of cordless tools out there now that are coming close to the performance of the corded tools. This is not one of them, and not just because of the only getting 4 holes, but again, doesn't have the same torque as this does. This is a very, very light tool. Both of these are very light tools in comparison to what I'm used to using. So there we go. We're drilling this out, and I'll have to go back and look at the tape to see which one's longer, but I really don't think there's a big difference in the performance of time drilling through with this bit. I will say that the bit turns slower on this, but the hammer might be more aggressive. They do feel like different tools, but they pretty much get the job done at the same time. So here's the old battle axe, my old Hitachi. And this thing is probably, well, it's over 20 years old. I'd have to think about it a little bit. It might be 25 years old. So I'm holding this one hand so I can hold the camera, and I hope you appreciate it, because that is taking your wrist in your hands. Because this sucker will break your wrist. There is no clutch on this. Those other 2 hammer drills, they're not going to hurt you. This guy, if it binds up, it's gonna loop that cord up around the saw, and you better let go. So, and you can see I'm getting a wrist workout just doing this. And this thing is much, much slower turning it, the speed of the bit. It's got a lot more weight. I actually did do a bunch of hammer drilling with this and the Bulldog, and they actually cut through these 8-inch blocks at the same speed. In other words, even though the bit seems to be turning slower on this one, they break through at the same time. They're not, one is not faster than the other. One is definitely heavier than the other. I'd use that Bulldog on horizontal drilling for sure. And of course, the Hitachi can handle much, much larger bits and even cores. So it's a great tool, but of the 3, if I could only have one, it'd be tough between the Hitachi and the corded Bulldog. The cordless, they're not there yet, so unless you really need to have a cordless, I would stick with the Bulldog. So I hope you found this interesting. Remember, Nimrod wants you to subscribe. So subscribe, like, share, and as always, happy hunting, Nimrods.